Hi, this is a video to show you how to post to the Calvary website. So I'm going to go here to the login for WordPress and let me go to camera and computer and then go here. But my login information is already in here. You should have received an email with this information in it, and if not, just contact me and I can resend it. But I go ahead and log in, and what you're doing is a post. So if you look over here in the column on your left, you see the word posts. There's a difference between pages and posts that you don't really need to know at this point, and all kinds of different menu options here, but just let's stick with just posts right now. So you can click on there and add new. You can also go to the post page and there's an add new button up at the top. But today I'm going to add a post which is Dr. Granado's Christian testimony. So I'm going to go to my source here, which unfortunately is a PDF, and I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to give this a title first of all. And I'll just say Dr. Granado's testimony. I'll probably change that later, but that's good enough for now. And then I can also, I also want to, at this stage, I want to click on this, choose categories. So I'm going to make sure that this is in news. Okay, it's already, that's the default, is that it's in news, and that means it will appear on the homepage blog. I can also check other categories. In this case, Dr. Granado's testimony is President's Office, and I could probably choose some others, and I can go back and do that at any time. I also want to choose a photo of some kind, and I happen to already have a couple of decent photos here, and since he talks about his wife in his testimony, I'm going to choose that one. And then I don't like the sidebar personally, so I come down and I choose no sidebar. Alright, and then I can also change the author. So since I didn't write this article, I will almost always choose webmaster if it's something that I didn't actually write. If I wrote it, then I would give myself the byline, the credit. But in this case, it's something Dr. Granados wrote, so I just want to post it as web manager. If I'm posting for someone else who is in here, say if I was posting for Dr. Gromacki, and it was something that he wrote, then I would choose this. But I don't believe Dr. Granados is in here yet. So, okay, so after doing all of that, what I want to do is save draft. Okay, I don't want to publish yet because I still haven't plugged in my article yet. So I'm waiting on that. So you see that it went gray while it was saving the draft, and now it's back to blue again. And so it's ready for me to go in and use the Divi Builder to not to publish, but to build my post. So I just click on that, and it'll come up with three options here. Now I can build from scratch, and oftentimes I will do that just because I'm more familiar with WordPress. But I've already created a layout or an existing layout, and it's in your saved layouts, and it's just down here, post template. So this is a standard post template that you can use that has already got the text down here formatted in the standard way. Okay, so in Divi Builder, you actually see the post pretty much how it will appear when it's finally published. However, when you hover over an area, except for the title and the picture, which you already set in the opening screen, but anything else here in this setting, which is, if you see up here, it says Exit Visual Builder. That means you're in Visual Builder. Okay, so anything you hover over, you're going to get these menus. So what I want to do is click on this text box and click on the let me show you that again. Click on the text box, and then you have a menu here that you can use this to just move it around. If you have multiple columns or something like that, you can move it around. This allows you to go in and edit. This will duplicate that text box if you want to add another one for some reason. This will save it to the library, which you don't need to do. This will delete it, and this will just close out of this menu. And there are some other things here that you probably don't need to mess with most of the time, but you can explore those later. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to edit this text box, and so what I've done here is I've set up a post template, and the header is set for heading 3, and the text is set for just paragraph, which is basic text. Okay, so I'm going to start by adding the text that I have copied from Dr. Granado's testimony. So I'm going to delete a bunch of stuff here, and what I have to do when you copy and paste from a PDF, you have to go in and you'll find places like this where there's no space, and so it's kind of a pain to copy and paste from a PDF, but there will be lots of little problems like that. There's another place where there's no space, so it's gonna be a project to go through and make sure all that text is set right. I'll also want to break this up, so say I don't want it to be one long paragraph the way it is here, so I'm probably going to go in here and look for a natural place to break this text up. In fact, I might go back and look at how he did it. So he says he broke it up while attending high school, so I might just go do it exactly the way he did it and break up the paragraphs that way. So I'm not gonna do all this right now on this video, but you get the idea. You paste in your text down here, or you type it out. You actually write it out there, which is perfectly fine. You can write out the story in this space, but you can see that it showed up here, and I'll go back later and tighten all that up and clean it up. And so then I'm going to want to do a headline here. And so what I like to do for headlines, especially if it's a bio kind of thing like this, I like to find a quote from the story. And so maybe I would put, maybe I'll just grab one here just quick to show you. kind of like this. Let's see, there's some space problems, but I'm going to, I resolved as a Christian whose mind is being renewed to replace worldly knowledge, philosophies, and opinions with biblical knowledge and wisdom. And I'll probably just take that bit right there, copy it, Control C, copy, and then come up here, and I don't want to, it's kind of quirky, but I want to make sure that I don't have, that I'm all the way over selecting only the headline. If I'm, see, if I click it once to the right, it doesn't show me a change, but it does mess things up. So anyway, I want to paste in my quote, I resolved as a Christian whose mind is being renewed to replace worldly knowledge, philosophies, and opinions with biblical knowledge and wisdom. So I'm going to put that in quotes, and you can see that that now becomes my headline. So I've already got up here identifying it as his testimony. So a quote here doesn't have to be a headline explaining what it is. It's going to be obvious to the reader. So this quote is pretty good. So then I'm going to save that, and of course again I'm going to go back and fix all this, and obviously I've got a bunch of have to be careful about lots of things, but obviously I've got a bunch of dead space down here. See that? Ooh, that's just the quirkiness of the PDF. But anyway, at some point you may have to work with a PDF, so you can see the trouble it's giving me. Okay, so I don't want to leave a bunch of space, so let me just show you the post here. The post goes down to the bottom, and then I've got these links where if someone's reading your post after it's published, they can share it on Facebook, Twitter, or via email. So I don't want a bunch of space separating my text from these shares. And the way that I make sure that I don't have a bunch of space is to go down to the bottom of my story and make sure there are there's no extra space. So I'll show you what happens. And it's not showing up here this time, but normally that does create space below it. So anyway, I don't want that space there. So okay, so now I can do any number of things. So for example, so this dark menu here is what is called a module. Okay, it's a module, and that module sits inside of a row. So the green is a row. Okay, and sometimes there's even another layer, but for a typical post you're going to have a row, and then you're going to have your module inside that row. And so the reason this is important is because you can come up here to your row, and the row has at least one other option here, and that is this right here, which is your column structure. So when I click on that, I can add another column to the row, which I'm going to do here. I'm going to say click on this right here. You can see visually it's a column that's more narrow on this side, and then the wider side over here. And then I can add all kinds of different things. And what I typically like to do, if we have them, is to add that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to add an image. So I think people like pictures, and so I can add an image here, and I can click on there and go to the images I have already in here, or I can go up here and I can upload an image from my computer. And I happen to have just about everything. Those are all the photos I have of Dr. Granados at this point. So what I would do then is go here to my media library and probably use this one of him speaking in chapel. Okay, and so that creates a column with photos in it. And you know, I can also, like, for some times we have added a feature story here and then a sidebar story over here, and you just simply click on whatever's here and use this plus button to add say text. But you know, you can add videos, you can add testimonials. So say if we did a story on a student trip, we could do the report of the story and then add testimonials. So I'm getting into all kinds of different I'm getting into too much here for the purpose of this video, but the point is you can add various things here. And so for right now I'm going to stick with this, and actually no, I'm not. For this particular purpose I am not going to include this sidebar with pictures, because I just don't have good pictures, and this is a pretty basic article. So I'm going to come back here and change that back to just full width. Okay, so at this point you would be basically done, but I always want to have two sets of eyes on these articles. So you know, plug in your article, get it the way you want it, play around with it, you know, just get it totally ready. You know, check your all your spelling and everything like that. I think this will show you if you have misspelled words and that kind of thing. But just get it all the way you want it to, and the way you want it to be, and then you click on Exit Visual Builder, and then this box will pop up, and you click on Save and Exit. Okay, now you see up here it's gonna change to this purple box. So you would click on this if you wanted to edit again. But for now, this is set. This post is set. It's not published yet. It's simply complete in your mind, and it's ready to be set for what is called pending. Okay. So what you do after you've got it all set the way you want to, you come up here to Edit Post, and you click on that, and it takes you back to the screen where we added the heading and the photo, and we clicked on the categories, and we set this to a no sidebar. But there's another thing that you can do here, and that is pending review. And so if it's all ready, if you're convinced it's all ready, just click on that and then save as pending. Don't click on publish, save as pending. Okay, and it'll turn gray like that, and it'll do all its stuff here, and then it'll eventually turn blue again, and then it's ready. Okay, so then let me take you back here to sorry, let me yeah, that button takes you back to the list of all the posts in the website. And so you can see here at the top we have our post, Dr. Granado's testimony, and pending. And up here I will see this right here, pending. I have one article that's pending, which means I need to go look at it and edit it and chop it up and whatever. But hopefully not. But anyway, so that means that you're done, and it's now in my hands. It's my responsibility to read it, edit it as needed, and then I'll publish it. It's also possible that I would ask you to revise some things or add some things or something like that, and so then I wouldn't publish it, but I would contact you and let you know that it needs to be changed. So that is how you add a post to the website. Let me know if you have any questions.